Welcome to the Thursday night edition, the special SNS Live. We are going to do some breakdown of the Thursday night matchup here.
Yes. So far, what I've looked upon, I've seen that the Bears have won 6 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams. The Bears won the last meeting by 38 points. Mitchell Trubisky threw for 6 TDs, one shy of Mr. Sid Luckman's franchise record. I think this is going to be an interesting game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to show a lot for each side where they're going for the rest of the season.
Most definitely. I like what I see in Tampa. Bears are up and down. I don't know. We'll see. So, let's get into the fun. So, all time, we got 39-20 all time when it comes to this matchup. Obviously, like you stated earlier, Bears won the last matchup September 30th, 2018, 48-10.
Yeah.
With that being said, this is a Super Bowl rematch at the quarterback position.
Very true.
Obviously, it's not the same teams, but you got Tom Brady, Nick Foles. Is Nick going to get the better of Tom again, or does Tom in Tampa Bay get the better of Nick this time around? I don't think we'll see any trick plays, but
no. Honestly, I'm going to take that game and I'm going to throw it away because it's not. That was a Super Bowl game. That was the Philly versus New England. We have Tampa and Chicago. The one thing that kind of worries me a little bit, and it's trending in the wrong direction, is that Brady has 2 pick sixes in 4 games this year for the Bucs.
Oh yeah,
but he has 4 pick sixes, in his last 6 games. So he's trending in the wrong direction. And historically, Tom Brady has done a great job of protecting the ball. Never had issues there. So if this opportunistic Bears defense, which now that I'm talking about it, holds people to 37.5% on red zone drives in 2020, which is the number 1 rating in the NFL this year. If Tom Brady doesn't bring in his A game, he's not going to be able to get these, touchdowns against this defense. Also on their defensive side, they lost last week to the Colts 19-11, but the defense held the Colts to 3 field goals on 4 red zone attempts. 2 of those red zone attempts were on goal-to-go situations. You're talking 3 yards, a yard, 2 yards that this offense has to go, and they're not getting through. But then that goes to the 37.5% on red zone drives.
true.
The defense is solid.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup. I love the defense for the Chicago. I've always loved the defense. Khalil Mack, dude's a force. He's always going to be there. It's prime time. I think Khalil Mack in prime time, you always see him make big plays, strip sacks, maybe even touchdowns at times. So I look for him to make some big plays tonight. It's nothing new when it comes to Khalil Mack. Interesting little points. You have Chris Godwin, Watson, LaShawn McCoy out for Tampa.
Okay.
Just recently, they activated Ross Cockrell and cornerback and wide receiver Josh Pearson from the practice squad. Kind of help fill the void, it sounds like.
Right.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, this was interesting that Lamar Miller just signed to the practice squad at Chicago. Weird that he wasn't brought just onto the roster. He was put on the practice squad. I thought that was weird.
Do you feel maybe they're kind of filling out the Tariq Cohen? Because I feel like Tariq's not playing as well as he did last year.
100%.
Montgomery's playing a lot, but I feel like the inconsistency in the offense is really halting that run game, the pass game. The only bright spot on that entire offense for the Bears is A-Rob. I mean, let's be real. And to his point, he had his second time in his career with back-to-back games of 100 receiving yards or more.
Right.
In the last 60 years, 6-0, The Chicago Bears have had 2 guys who have done it with 3 straight games. Do you know any of those 2 guys?
No. Maybe
You should, because you were alive for both of them. Alshon Jeffrey, 2015, and Jeff Graham in 1995. So I'm gonna give you a breakdown.
Graham probably not, but
yeah.
Jeffrey.
So 2 times we have Allen Robinson shooting for 3 straight games, also back to back to back. Hopefully he can get that. I've always said that Allen Robinson is a legitimate number 1. He just has inconsistent play right now at quarterback.
Definitely.
I just feel like Nick Foles, that offense looked horrible. Horrible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna disagree with you. Not by any means. Like the team, like I said, I don't know what to think of Chicago. They're so up, down, up, down, up, down. Like Trubisky looks great. Trubisky looks terrible. Trubisky out benched. Foles revives the offense. Foles looks terrible. What are we gonna get? Like what?
Well, I don't know. I mean, their yards per game, they roll in at about 343. That's 24th in the NFL. So they're well below medium. You got the Bucks, though. They're coming in about midpoint. They're number 16 at 371.
And I think they're just starting to kind of hit that stride.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay, Tom Brady, Player of the Week. 5 touchdown passes to 5 different receivers.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't to Mike Evans a ton of times or O.J. Howard before he went down with his injury.
Right.
He's throwing the ball all over the field to all of his players. And that was the 7th time in his career that he's thrown for 5 or more touchdowns in a game. That's 3rd all time, only behind Manning with 9 and Breeze with 11. So I just think Tom Brady's terrible Tom. You ought to be terrible Tom, right? I think he's coming out.
Steal my thunder.
I think he's coming out. I think he's finding his place in Tampa, and I think we're leaning towards what the line's saying. I think Tampa's got a good chance here.
Yeah, now what I'm seeing from what I've seen across the board with the game coming up here, it looks like 15, 20 minutes? Bucks favored by 3?
Yep.
Which, I mean, I would take that. I think Bucks by 3 makes sense. I think if Tom gets the offense going like they did last week, it could be easily more than 3.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, long night for Bears defense. But I expect, like I said, Khalil Mack to kind of get in there. Raekwon Smith's been playing great in his 2nd year. But one guy I do got to give a shout out to. I mean, I know how much you just love the Hawkeyes. You just have a deep passion for them. That right tackle, that rookie out of Iowa, Tristan Wirfs, that dude is just giving people the work.
Okay.
Easily playing years ahead of where he should be as a rookie right now, as a right tackle at the pro level. He is just moving people. Everything you want. Like, he totally has Tom's back. Huge pickup. Love to see the guy totally dominating at the next level as of right now.
I agree. Playing at just awesome, elite level. You're talking first year.
Yeah.
First year. Understanding of what these defenders are doing to him. So, I mean, great pick. It just solidifies that the GM in that front office knows what he's doing.
That's why I wanted him. Darn it.
You wanted him, or did you wanted the Dolphins? I'm just giving you a hard time.
We don't talk about that.
So,
oh man, yeah.
I don't know, and also to the statement, like where the line's at. Chicago only allows 20 points per game. They pump out a grand 21 points per game, which I think trends obviously the reason why they're 3-1. You have points per game for the Bucks at 30. So something's going to give. Either the Bears are going to give up more than 20, and Tom's going to have a terrible Tom type of day, or the Bears defense is going to be the Bears, and they're going to show up and they're going to take care of business, and Tom's going to have a horrible night, so it's going to be horrible Tom, not terrible Tom. And I don't know. It'll be interesting because there's stats here that show that both teams have a chance to flip it in their favor. Nick Foles just needs to be a Band-Aid and just make the boo-boo hide for just a little bit longer. Let the defense and the pros play.
I think that's the positive when I look at the Foles situation.
Right.
I think if Foles settles in and does what he's supposed to, I think he could maybe emulate the success of what happened in Philly. I'm not necessarily saying Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. No.
Right.
He had people to lean on. He has a defense to lean on.
Right.
Don't try to go out there and do it all.
No.
Go out there, take care of the ball, get your guys involved early, like you said. Allen Robinson, get the guy going, get him some touches.
Yeah.
Heck, throw a screen to him or something. Get the dude the ball in his hands, let him make a play in space.
Yeah, he's fast for a big body guy. He's very underrated, very underappreciated. I mean, hardly ever talked about. I think for the fact that he played in Jacksonville and in Chicago, two places notorious for, not really keeping their wide receivers and or not having great wide receiver play. But guys, just completely underrated. I think he's one of the better receivers in the league. Let him, give him a chance. You also have Jimmy Graham. You got playmakers. You can't say you don't.
This is true. Just need him to show up. You really need him to show up. The thing is, who do they follow? Do they want Trubisky out there and they're playing hard for Trubisky, or do they not want him out there? But I'm not really. This should be the game that should show they're playing for Foles, they're playing for Trubisky.
I agree. I think that's a great way to look at it. Like, we'll see either tonight, this team's going to come out and they're going to play top notch for Foles, or we're going to see guys going through the motions. And I think if you see them going through the motions, you're going to have a locker room that's split. When the locker room becomes split, then it's going to be dependent on what the front office decides when, hey, we're going to go with Foles because we signed him to that contract, or, Trubisky, hey, you're done, bye. But at that same time, if he leaves, there are guys who like to play for him, and we've seen it. He's had success in Chicago, so I don't know. I think another part of this factor is, let's be real, the Chicago fan base. They were stained by greatness at one point in multiple sports, and I feel like they're continually grasping for the moments that those great players come back.
Right.
But there's certain players that are never going to come back. We're never going to get it again, in certain places. So I think the Chicago fan base needs to maybe pump the brakes a little bit on their expectations for Trubisky, and I think support him a little more, and I think you'd be probably a lot better off.
True. I think the same thing. I mean, the front office, there has to have been something they must have seen from a tape standpoint to do what they did to take this kid. I mean, obviously, we saw him come out. He played rock solid when that defense was healthy. They were throwing it down, 12-4?
Yeah.
That's one of their better seasons. I think he could easily be a 12-4 quarterback again.
Besides double doink.
Oh, my gosh. But he needs to play better. I think it's one of those things. Okay, you look at Dwayne Haskins. He just got benched. He needed to play better. Maybe this benching is a wake-up call. Obviously, it's happened before, whatever, but now you have Foles there. If Foles can win a couple games and really put the pressure on Trubisky, you'll really see what the kid's made of. Does he get it together, get the work together, put the work in, learn the correct things that he's bad at? Or do you see this kid, like Dwayne Haskins recently, mopey, head down, kind of throwing a pouty fit because he got benched for playing like trash?
Right. I mean, Foles has got a little bit of a hill, not a mountain, hill. If my memory serves me correct, don't quote me on this. I believe he's 0-5 in his last 5 starts as a starting quarterback, and that's including Jacksonville, because I believe he was 0-4 and then got injured. I don't know. I want to see the consistency out of him. I've never seen it. Every time he gets the starting role, I feel like he folds like origami.
I know it makes no sense for a guy who can come in and win a Super Bowl.
Right, and I
You've
don't know.
played on the biggest stage. You've won it. Pressure should be nothing to you.
Right, this is Thursday Night Football.
Yeah. Come on now.
I don't know. I'm excited to see. I want the Bears to win. That's where I'm at personally.
Right.
Logic tells me that that's probably not going to happen. So I'm not sure. It's going to be an interesting game either way. I'm excited to watch it, honestly. Oh, we segued.
So, you're thinking. So, what do you're thinking the Bucks? But what do you really think?
My pick, and I'm putting it right here, is the Buccaneers to win by 10, 24-14. The only reason why I'm going with this is I don't think the inconsistency on offense and Nick Foles, and they don't know if they want Trubisky and can't figure this and that. Right. The defense is going to be on the field too long. Yep. Guys like Mac are going to get tired. Yep. Tom Brady is going to be RB terrible time all over them. Yep. So it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. I think the Bucs win it by 10, 24-14.
You know, it's like we thought about this or something.
But we didn't
even collaborate on the sport. But I got terrible Tom winning 27-17.
RB 10 points.
I love it.
Agree. I agree. I think it's just going to be too much.
I think, and mark it now, the NFC better watch out. And Drew Brees better watch out in that division. Tom's clicking. And if Tom's really the one behind the scenes telling people like Mike Evans making stupid plays, trying to get in fights in the middle of the games, if he's the one at halftime going and reaming people and setting them right, so Mike Evans comes out in the second half and, gets tackled and gives the guy a pat on the back, if he's the one doing this stuff, Tampa Bay's going to be there when it matters most. And 3-1 after they looked kind of so early and people were like, oh, here they are playing well. Sneaky. And again, this terrible Tom, watch out. It's going to get bad. And I think you're going to see maybe Tom Brady up in those top categories again. If he's already throwing 5 touchdowns, again, to 5 wide receivers, what happens if Mike Evans goes off for one day and has 3 and then he hits 4 other people? There's a 7-touchdown game. Right. It is not unfathomable in this offense for Tom Brady to throw up stupid numbers this year.
Oh, yeah. Jameis Winston did it almost weekly.
Exactly.
And people constantly critique him for his inaccurate. He's inaccurate. He can't throw to the right guys. Well, Brady's historically been very accurate and not turn the ball over. So I think he's got tons of weapons. The fact that Godwin's not in hurts, but there's still plenty of weapons. I think is O.J. Howard out or in?
I thought he got hurt, IR hurt, or out multiple weeks hurt.
So see, that does hurt because I haven't made any comments about this yet, but I think Rob Gronkowski is way over the hill. He looks nothing like himself.
He even said it. People were like, "Oh, Gronk, where are you at? You're not catching passes. What's going on?" He came out on Twitter and he said it. I came out of retirement to block for Tom. That's it. I'm here to block in Tampa Bay, and that's what I'm doing.
Right. He's not going to be the Rob Gronkowski that we know in New England. This is Rob Gronkowski 2.0.
I give the guy props for even wanting to come back to block grown-ass men coming at him.
Right. He's been partying for a year.
Correct. I mean, he feels, from what I've read, he feels pretty healthy, body standpoint, probably the best he's felt in a long time. It was good to take a year off. His body's healed up. Yep. But he's just down there blocking people. He's always been historically a great blocker. That's what made him one of the best in the game, was his ability to block at the line in the run game and then sneak out and, get those 5-10 yarders and take them 20 yards or something to the house.
Yards
I
after
think if OJ Howard goes out long term, which that was something I was going to look into here real quick. If he is out long term, I think you look for Gronk to get a little more.
I agree. They'll have to. And not just that, but there's plenty of wide receivers. They have running backs who can catch. There's other guys at tight end. So, I mean, this is not – and Bruce Arians knows how to use his guys.
Right.
Bruce will do what he has to do to put Tom in the position to utilize the weapons. That's going to be the hard part that makes it challenging for this Bears defense, who is going to play possibly some minutes tonight. A lot of snaps, a lot of time, a lot of hands.
Leonard Fournette is also active tonight after being listed as doubtful.
Okay. So, see, you have a strong run game with Leonard, pound away and hands on the hips, heavy breathing. A lot of, Bears defenders' heads will probably be hanging if they play too many snaps.
Yeah, like what is going on? Like I said, I believe. Oh, yep. OJ Howard IR.
Yep. Okay.
And they signed wide receiver Cyril Grayson.
Okay.
Oh, so, yeah. Also with bringing up those other two from the practice squad. So, not bad. Definitely some things to watch for. But, yeah, it looks like we collectively got Tampa Bay here. Let's hope that the Bears don't decide to show up and make us look like fools.
They made me look like a fool last week when I said they were going to stay undefeated. So, I'm going against them to change it. Let's see if they win.
Uh-oh. Can he flip the script, folks?
Right. I'm trying to help them here.
Funny. Well, the game's getting ready to kick off here shortly. We appreciate you guys for tuning in on this Thursday night special. You guys have a great rest of your night. Enjoy the game. We'll see you Saturday.